All right. Would you rather cross paths with a man or a bear in the forest?
A bear every freaking time.
Every time. Okay.
Every time.
I said man.
Man?
Yeah, I said man.
Man.
Bear.
Uh-oh.
Man.
So bear. Why do you pick bear? Why don't you pick man?
Why wouldn't I pick man? Because I think what a man would do to you in a forest when nobody's watching is worse than what a bear would do.
What
the
do you
bear
think
would do it
a
quickly.
bear would do to you?
If the bear's going to kill you, it's going to be quick.
No, they just eat you alive.
They're gonna rip your skin off and rip your face off and put their teeth
Better than
around your
dealing
neck
with the
and-
trauma that what a man would do to you in the forest
So
alone
you think
would do.
that if you just selected a random man in the population, just plunked one out, you think that he would kill you?
Not necessarily kill you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you pick bear? Why don't you pick man?
Because a bear won't sexually. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So because you guys are factoring in, like, yes, the bear could kill you, the man could kill you, but the bear's not going to SA you. The man could SA you. You guys are obviously doing like a risk assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just ask you both a question. You don't think every man could do this, right?
No, but
Right.
I also don't think every bear is going to go after you
Sure.
if you're not bothering them and they're not hungry.
But so you don't think it's every man. What percentage of men do you think would do this then?
Both things, or at least
Just
one?
just the essay. How about that?
Half.
Okay, 50%.
20 to 30%.
20, 30%. Okay.
I think there's a lot of men that might do something like that if they aren't thinking they're going to suffer the consequences for it and somebody wouldn't know. I don't think
Okay.
it's all men, but I do think that.
But 50%. 50%. Okay, so 50% of the male population in the United States, you think? Okay. Do you have
Obviously
any brothers?
not including children, you know?
Yeah, just adult males. We'll exclude like underage.
Geriatric and children, yeah.
Do you have any brothers?
I have a half brother and a
Half.
step brother.
2 brothers.
I mean, neither one is full blood
Well,
and neither one I lived with.
But you
so,
call
I
them
mean,
brothers. 2 brothers.
Not really, no.
Well, half brother.
Yeah, I
step-
wouldn't
okay.
call, yeah. I'm the only child.
Okay. You have a dad?
No, not anymore.
Okay. Grandparents?
Yeah,
Male cousins? Male friends?
grandpa, yeah.
Okay. Your 2 brothers, so one of them is an SAer.
I'm not saying it has to be from my family, but I think statistically across the U.S., at least half of the guys would not, yeah.
Including like your male family members.
Yeah, I don't think any of them would do it, but yeah, obviously that would include the general male population.
Okay. 50% is quite a lot. It's half the male population. Don't you? So you must have a pretty negative view towards men then, if you think 50% of them, maybe
Towards
a majority.
some men.
Well,
50
not
is not
just-
majority. 50 is half.
Well, it's half. Half of men, 1 out of 2. You must have very negative attitudes towards half of men then.
No, it's a bell. It's everything's a bell.
Do you think that they would SA you? It's a pretty
Half of men, yeah. I
it's a
don't
pretty
think
egregious thing to do.
there's a lot of men in jail for that. There's a lot of men in jail or not in jail for that. I think that is a problem.
But I mean, not half of men are not in jail.
Wait, that doesn't mean they got caught.
And
I
half
mean,
of men
there's-
haven't
and there's
engaged
still
in that sort of
SA
activity.
without grape. I mean, there's still
Sure.
levels of that, and I still think that that is safer than a random bear in a forest who might not even be hungry.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Last weekend I was hiking in the woods and I came across a man and he just walked right past me.
Thank you
Very
for
lucky.
sharing that
That's cool.
that example. I do appreciate it. Who said bears do not? They're
I
capable.
was about to say if the bear
of
was
this
feeling fruit,
Frisky-
maybe if it was
frisky.
mating season. It was mating season.
I chose
Wow.
some man because even if he tries to like SA me or kill me, I think I can take him over a bear.
I think you could probably take a man.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'll wait for him to go to sleep and then
What the fuck?
do stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on, we have a message coming in here.
N7's Voss donated $100.
Thank you, Voss.
Someone in chat said it, but I will repeat it here. I bet 50% of men won't even approach a girl.
Yeah, man. I think that 50%, that's a high number.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's a high number. You're throwing a lot of men under the bus.
Do you think
You'd
my
be
number's
surprised.
Yeah.
Though, you'd
I think
be
it's just
surprised.
like a
I think you guys have a very different view of how safe a woman feels around men than
Well-
how women feel around men.
yeah. I don't really feel too safe around bears though. That's the thing, and I think it's just total bullshit. Like if you were in the forest and then you saw you saw some hungry bear, grizzly bear, and the shit that bear could do to you, and then you saw Gavin, and you're like, who do I want to be trapped in this forest with? You're taking Gavin. You're not taking the bear. But you can say you'll take the bear. That's fine.
Do you have that meme, Damien?
I
The
really
bear
stand
meme?
by my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I'd rather die.
I mean, the statistics don't reflect that this is the actual risk that a woman has, though. I mean, even the greatly skewed numbers from some of these organizations, like the 1 in 4, that would put it at 25%, right? But if you look at like actual crime statistics, FBI, DOJ, the actual like incidence rate of this is like fairly low.
The girls at the table, have you ever felt unsafe with a man to the point where you felt your safety
Hold
was
on.
jeopardized?
How you feel doesn't mean that the guy's gonna SA you. Like I get
But
you can
it's
feel.
how safe you would feel in a forest unsupervised with a man. That is also a feeling.
But just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean that that thing that you fear is gonna happen.
The bear might also not bother you.
I agree. It might not. The man could be totally benevolent, and if you're lost in the forest, what do you think is more likely? If you're lost in the forest, do you think a man's going to be benevolent? Like you go up to him and ask him for help. Do you think he's just going to start essaying you, or do you think he's going to help you? Like what's more likely?
I don't trust a random man in a forest. That is my stance. I mean, like,
Some-
have you guys ever felt unsafe with a man to the point of your safety feeling jeopardized? At least once in your life.
I don't disagree. I bet every single woman here
Yeah,
has
all
felt
the time.
unsafe around
All
a
the
man.
time.
I don't dispute that at all.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, so sometimes they make you feel safe before they SA you. So it's like
That part.
The funny
Right.
part is that actually men actually have such a stronger inclination to protect a random woman than they do to SA them. So all of these, like, you can make a face about it if you want. But I was in Colombia a few weeks ago, and I was at a random gym in like an outdoor gym in Medellin, and we saw this guy sprinting and this lady running behind him, like yelping because he just sort of stolen something from her. And literally, there was 30 men around who literally clicked into gear and chased this dude around, captured him. It's all on my Instagram story. I filmed it, by the way. And they got him, and then they got the girl's thing back, and they were walking the girl back to the gym and back home. Like, that is the natural inclination that men have. And I'm sorry that you have this like horrible view of men, but it's just simply
It's
not
all
true.
men.
No, this is like what you said is like a horrendous view of men. You would rather be dropped in the forest with a bear than
Wild
a man.
animal.
And you
Yeah.
think that 50% of men are likely to do that to you. You just don't understand men, clearly. But like most men would
Just
just.
because I don't agree with your opinion doesn't make it wrong.
I'm saying that you're wrong. That's my opinion. So,
I mean,
but yeah,
she
you
said
just
the same thing.
you just don't really understand
What is
like
like
the
the
way that men
hyper
are.
focus? There are other people who agree.
Why do you get so snarky about everything? We're just having a conversation. Why can't
We're
you just have a
not, though.
conversation?
She
It's
said
always
the
going to be
same
like
thing, but it's
making a
always,
face, or
like,
it's going to be
at
like
me.
laboring your answers and stuff. Like it's just annoying. Anyway, we'll like move on.
Well,
You have to.
I think
Well, if you're
You
berating me
I'm
constantly,
not berating you. We're having a
are,
conversation. Like it's like you've never heard like a contrary opinion in your life.
Not at all. There were
That's
several
what it's
contrary
like.
opinions that we didn't agree on that I said, oh, I see your viewpoint. But when you're being
Yeah, but like it's
rude,
been constant all night. I'm telling you, from my perspective,
Here.
having talked to you all night, it's like constant faces
ask
and
a
just
question?
laboring. The
Hold on, Darkavia. So you asked a question. You asked, why are we kind of focusing on you? Milena did pick bear. You're 100% right. She picked bear. She said, what, 20 to 30%? Typically, when you're having like a disagreement with somebody, you're going to tend to like want to have that disagreement with the person who takes a more hardline position. In this case, you said 50%. It seems like you have a bit more of a hard line, you have a stronger position on this than Milena. And also Milena's also been Milena's been on the show before, and we've already kind
argued
of
about this
had like the
topic last
debate with
time.
her. So like that's kind of why it's been a bit more focused on you, specifically related to the bear question. So, I mean, that's an explanation to your answer, but look, I don't really want to linger on the bear thing for too long. Just, how about this? a couple clarifying things. If it was 10 men versus 10 bears, does that change anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, would you prefer the 10 men then?
Yeah, because I think when there are people with each other, you have more of a responsibility to act accordingly to social standards. I think when men are alone, sometimes that's where the problem
But if there's
can
10
arise.
men and if they're 50% disposed to SAing you and 50% not, how do you know that 50% of them
I
aren't just going
still
to
don't
overrule the
think
rest of
that-
the guys?
I still don't think that they're going to take the chance to do something that's inappropriate when there's other witnesses.
So-
Whereas somebody alone
So
in
you
the
trust
forest would.
the benevolence of the men?
I
then?
trust the group.
Okay.
Like there's a distribution of responsibility.
Oh, do you want kids?
Yeah.
Do you know how many kids you want?
Preferably 3.
3 kids.
Mhm.
If you have 3 sons,
Mm-hmm.
you're prepared to take the position that 1 or even 2 of them are SAers.
I
Your
didn't
own-
say it's
your
all
own
men.
sons.
Some men are
No, but you said-
great.
No, but you said 50%.
It doesn't have to include my family.
Well, statistically, it would have to include your family. So
There's
you would.
also thousands of people in the United
No.
States that would factor into that. So,
Well, but I mean, if we're looking statistically at 50%, like.
do you want me
you're-
to say 40? Does that make you feel better? Like,
Okay, so 1 of them, 1 1/4. I mean,
that's just my stance. I don't.
No, that's
I
fine.
think when men are alone, they do things that are not appropriate.
I know that. Sure,
A
that's
lot of times
sure.
relatives
And
do.
when
But-
they're
hold
together
on.
too.
I was
Hold
gonna say
on, hold on.
relatives do SA.
What's that?
I said a lot of times relatives do SA people, so you do have to
Sure.
factor.
That's the
But I
highest
just want to be clear,
percentage.
Yeah.
when you're raising, if you have 3 sons, when you're raising your 3 sons, you're going to be raising them and thinking of them as like future rapists. Like that's your view of your sons.
No, because I know the things that I'm instilling in them. That doesn't go for the entire general population. They didn't have the same upbringing. They don't have the same family values. That's totally different. Everybody has a different
okay.
experience.
So you'll be the statistical outlier then when it comes to your.
Sure.
Okay. All right. If that's your position.